Hi, I'm attorney Karen Eichman. I'm coming to you from my office in West Grove, Pennsylvania. And I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about one of everybody's favorite subjects, estate planning. There's so much more to estate planning than just divvying up your assets when you die. It's about making certain that your family members have been provided for and have access to your assets should you become temporarily or even permanently incapacitated. Today, I'm going to list for you a number of reasons why you need an estate plan. And in later videos, we're going to dive deeper into these subjects. So let's get started. Did you know that anyone dying without an estate plan leaves it up to the state to distribute their assets? If they're not jointly held with someone else or payable at death to a beneficiary, then your assets that are not included in an estate plan will be decided by a court, by a judge, the state, as to how they're going to be distributed. That could have some very unintended situations, unintended distributions. You don't want that to happen, then you need to have a estate plan in place. And okay, so let's talk about you and your spouse, where the two of you both aren't on the deed to your home that you live in, or you live with a partner that's not on the deed. It's in just your name, the house. You're expecting that your partner, your spouse, is going to be able to live there for the rest of their life if they so choose, if something happens to you, right? Well, guess what? It's not going to be up to you if you don't have an estate plan with all of that laid out in the plan. The state's going to decide. And it might not be your spouse or your partner who's in that house a few months after you're gone. So if you want somebody living in that house and they're not on the deed with you, you need to have an estate plan. Estate plans also give permission to the persons you elect to take care of your assets for you, pay your bills for you in the event that you become incapacitated. And that's really an important thing. Whether you're temporarily or permanently incapacitated, somebody needs to pay the bills. Somebody needs to make sure that your health insurance is paid and up to date. Somebody needs to make sure that any other bills that you have out there are being paid for you and taken care of, and that you are taken care of. So if you don't have an estate plan in place, guess who's going to make that decision for you? Yep, it's the court again. They're going to decide who that's going to be, and it may not be somebody that you had wanted. You know what? Without an estate plan, a state can also keep your assets if they can't find a proper beneficiary. Did you really work hard all your life so that your assets, your money, can go to the state? I don't think you did. If you have minor children, an estate plan is imperative to make sure that you have the right people in place that are going to raise your children the way that you want your children raised. You might be like me and have some wacko folks in your family. At least my wacko family, they're okay. But there are some folks who have family members that they would really, really prefer not to be raising their children. But guess who decides that if you don't have a nomination of guardian in place? It's a familiar trend we're hearing tonight. It's the court that's going to decide. So that person that might be a wacko in your family might look really good on paper. They might get your kids. They might raise your kids. Is that what you want? If that's not what you want, you need an estate plan. You need a nomination of guardian for your children. Estate plans can be pretty cool too. Did you know that through an estate plan, you can leave assets to your beneficiaries that are protected from predators, from creditors, from bankruptcy, from future ex-spouses. Is that cool? Wouldn't it be great to be able to leave money to or other assets to family members and people you care about and love, and nobody can take them from them no matter what? Wow, yes, we can do that, but we can only do it through an estate plan. So come on in, we'll help you out with that. Through an estate plan, you can also ensure that your children from previous relationships, as well as your current partner, are all taken care of. Who has kids from a previous relationship? Yay, I'm one of them. There's a lot of us out there. And, as much as everybody loves each other and we say, oh, I'm going to take care of your kids. If something happens to you, I'll make sure they get half or whatever percent you all talk about. You can't guarantee that. You absolutely cannot guarantee that without an estate plan unless you've made these children or your beneficiary. And you also want to take care of that current partner. So you do that through an estate plan. You make a life estate for them. You have the remainder go to whomever you decide. It's a great, great tool. Depending on your particular situation, an estate plan might also be a great tool for tax planning. I don't know what the tax planning situation is going to be for estates in the future. Currently, only the Donald Trump types folks in the world with that kind of wealth are going to benefit much. But we don't know what it's going to be in the next 10 years or so. So we should think about that. An estate plan can help with your taxes as well. Finally, an estate plan can assist with your long-term care planning. Very important for an aging society. Those of us out there who are on the aging end, us boomers, we need to be thinking about those kinds of things. So I want to say thank you for listening and watching tonight. Keep an eye out. We're going to have videos in the future where we're going to dive real deep into these various subjects. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.